Big T? What are they? Is it a sign for Invisalign?
You get so excited. Look.
He has the most perfect teeth.
But you get so excited. I just met her. She gets so excited. Look.
No, look at his fucking teeth. You have those Scooby-Doo teeth. You got them perfect ass fucking teeth.
She get excited. Look how excited.
I'm nervous. I can't. You're so sexy and beautiful. Oh my god. I want to feel like I love you're everything. You're everything. Ready? What is Smile Direct Club? Ready, Smile Direct?
Why you get so excited?
I get nervous. I don't know. I'm nervous.
Hey, you hey.
My brethren, what's happening with you? Now looking at these clips, we can assume or even presume that a few things could have taken place once that brother left that place of establishment. But before we get into that deal, roll that intro.
Pull up with the stick, yeah. She said she wanna be up on my team, but she can't love me, yeah. Really, she don't want a man, she want a gummy bear.
Now, when we men say we want women to go ahead and put on the table, right? You know how Ruth did it, how Esther did it in the Bible, where these women, they wanted what they wanted who they wanted, and they didn't care what it made them look like. That puts a man more in his protective state. We are going to be protectors to begin with, you know, but there are things that a woman could do that can make us more of that or less of that. And I've already exposed how her being masculine will trigger us to be less of a protector. Anything masculine in the wild does not need to be protected. But when we say we want a woman to do things like that so that every Ruth should and would and could have her Boaz, that woman has to be willing to sleep at the foot of his bed. And that takes a great deal of humility. But this woman you see on the screen, she's not that. Some may say, oh, that woman was willing to risk it all. And I'm gonna say, brother, I don't think there wasn't anything she was risking. Not her health, not her body, not her freedom, not her time. It was the opposite. She had time and he'd be in abundance of it. See, she strikes me as the kind of woman who would have went back home with Blas. She that gave him that Master Splinter Glock 3000 turkey neck. Cause she looked like she good for it. It's probably about the only thing she may be good for, at least in this video. And then the next morning, she may have hit the vlogs, or when she didn't get hit off with a certain amount of swag or paper, maybe she would have volunteered this information to the nearest TMZ site, or even the police. And her statement may go something like this. After we went out for drinks and food, we went back to his place. I'ma stop there. You see, Blas already said that he went out by himself. This woman inserted herself. She put herself on his radar. That's the attraction confirmation. Does anybody look at this video and wonder, can this man hit? No, not at all. And this is what I be getting my wives hit. I'm like, yo, you don't think Lil Mama wouldn't let me smash? It's just a yes or no. And fellas, again, we're not getting caught up on, you know, what she dressed, how she dressed, what she says she believe. We talking about the nature of the woman. So no one here is gonna watch this video and see, oh yeah, he couldn't smash. He could have took her in the bathroom and smashed. Clearly, she dropping the attraction confirmation so hard. But again, she put herself on the radar. We went to eat and then we left to go back to his place, and then he got very aggressive and come on, little baby, you know he can see you, right? And that's as men, we really have to be mindful of chicks like this. And you wanna know what? A lot of chicks got a little bit of this in them. You don't believe me? Have you ever spoken to a woman or even your woman, and you know you're hearing her speak on the men she's dealt with, and it all seems to look like a Tyler Perry movie, which we know is super grossly inflated. That propaganda. Ain't nothing proper about that propaganda. From the attire to the satire, it all needs to be retired. Those are movies made by men in women's clothing for women in man's clothing. It's very confusing, but Yeah, when you hear her speak, or like a good deal of her relationships either look like a Tyler Perry film or they could have came straight off of his studio. So it's like, all these men were monsters. Now men, the ones who are listening, do you know any man that would just haul off, cold clock a woman out? I'm not saying that they don't exist. There's videos exposing, dudes like that or whatever. But 9 times out of 10, that man was probably raised by a woman. But that's neither here nor there. Do you know any men that are just something that just snap and they just gonna haul off and cold clock, knock out his female counterpart? To be honest, I don't. Do I know men that have been bisexual with their hands? Yeah. Do I know men that have had to slap or choke or yoke a broad up? Yeah. Fellas, you gotta ask yourself. She told you that he punched her in the eye, or he threw her down the steps, or whatever egregious thing they tell you he did. What she didn't tell you, fellas, is that she was sleeping with his boss. She was slurping off his coworker. The dude that was giving her rides to work was taking her for a ride when they got her at the work. So there's a lot of things that she won't tell you because of how it may make her look. And this is what I see. If the woman get to talking about how bad this guy was, that guy was, call up the ex. Call him up. See, back in the day, we didn't really care. We didn't care who you was dealing with. But now we do. Because whoever you was dealing with and whatever he had, you may have. We talking mental, spiritual, physical, emotional, whatever. Call him up. Besides, I can't even make a decision without first considering both sides of the matter according to my father's word. And not that we need to have a long, kumbaya on the phone. However, it's just, hey, what's going on, brother? Look, I'm here with such and such, and we built it and whatnot, and I just wanted to reach out and confirm a few big milestones in her life that she's moved on from, that she's healed from. And see, that's another big red flag for me. I ain't gonna lie to you. I've spoken to a few women's exes, and when they moved on, in my mind, I'm like, okay, so this guy, he's okay knowing someone else is smashing this chick. He's okay with knowing she's swallowing someone else's semen. He's okay with somebody else putting the baby up in there. Because these are all things that women do with every man. There's nothing exclusive about them. When you meet the woman, she may try to repackage her coochie up as if it is something that is exclusive. But again, we know the wiser. Not mad, just facts. So if a man can stand and is perfectly okay with knowing that his ex is doing that, to the point where he can be in the same room with the new guy, to the point where he can be on the phone with the new guy, I ain't gonna lie, that already kind of tells me a lot. Why is he okay with losing such a prize? I wouldn't be. If I had a wife brought to me, and we know he who findeth the wife findeth a good thing, I may have to get my David on if she may not be in my home, or if somebody comes and tries to swindle about my spot or whatever. Yeah, I may have to go mount up, gonna go get my woman. What y'all talking about? That's a good woman. That's a good thing. When I have her, it shows that I got favor in the eyes of the Lord, I'm told. Granted, your women meet those prerequisites. But when I got a good woman, ain't nobody but the... So the fact that he's okay. Man, look, I had one guy tell me, he said, bro, I hope y'all able to work it out. And dap me up. And you know what? When he said that, I seen the relief. I seen the relief in his eye. I felt the relinquish in his spirit of, I ain't gotta deal with it. And then, even then, that should have told me, like, the only wild card was that this woman could have had a change of spirit and mind. That's why I tell y'all, it don't matter how well she dresses it up. Some man somewhere is tired of her, is tired of hitting that, is tired of that altogether. But call up her ex. And if she don't want you to speak to him, then me tell you a lot about her and even her testimony. Who was around to validate anything she said? Any relatives, any friends, any associates, any news clippings, did anything substantiate her claims? Probably not. And likewise, I could see a woman in the comments now saying, well, you men need to let us speak to your exes. And you know what? I'm cool with that too. I'm in the car with Lil' Mama. She want to speak to any one of my exes. Here you go. That's if I still got the number. Because when they're not with me and they're no longer a gang member, I typically don't seem to remember their numbers. What if I still have a way of getting a hold of them? Here. Call them. I'm going to get the phone right through you. This will show you, yeah. But see, I'm gonna double it up, little baby. I'm going to do something that you can't do. I'm going to let you hear the failures. Then I'm going to put my wives on the phone and let you hear the success stories. See, if that don't humble you already, nothing will. You don't have a success story. You're with me hoping that I can be your success story. You're with me hoping that this can go the distance. You're with me hoping that you could then see if you really broken those generational curses. You're with me right now hoping to see if you really changed. All those feel-good quotes, all those memes that get posted, all the change of clothes, the change of area codes mean nothing until you can be with the man of the best to put that to the test. So here, let me just speak to my wives. You're probably going to hear my beautiful, healthy children running in the background who's always had a daddy since they were ever conceived and born. You're going to hear all that. And then you can judge for yourself if you have enough sense to. So yeah, man, have your ish E1 from day one. Because she may ask to see. And if she wants to, let her. Truth be told, as a man, that's going to tell her more about you than your words will. And if even after seeing how you live, if even after seeing that she hasn't known a man like you, ever, it may never, if after seeing that, and she still can't get us off in order, God, this may not be, you know? I'm gonna play this clip here, and then I'm gonna tell you what's going on here.
Marriage was a success.
Yeah.
I look at it as like a curriculum when you're in college or high school, right? You're learning, you're growing, you're evolving, you're creating. And I was able to create with Corey some beautiful, amazing children. Yeah. And at the end of that curriculum, and at the end, there's a graduation, there's a celebration.
So you mean to tell me that at the end of a split marriage, a split home, there's celebration? For who? See, modern day women, for a lot of them, if they cannot be the victors, then they're the victims. If they can't be the victims, then they'll be the victors. And the situation that the woman is, I was so badly treated, they did me like this, da-da-da-da-da, like I see. Well, verify that. And if she can't take that route, then she's the victor. Well, it was good. I decided to do this for me. God spoke to me and told me to. And then you look at what this so-called God told you to do, and you look at how it adds up biblically, and you look very rebellious. Where's the truth, though? See, men, you are going to have to dig for that. You're going to have to work for that. Let's roll another clip.
Marriage is work.
And that's
Marriage is work.
it
I'm
is.
not here.
Go ahead, sorry.
I'm not gonna be here like, everything is bro. You have to work hard, to stay married, and stay together, you know what I'm saying?
Poor Corey. Because it's bad enough to have a relationship that's on the rocks. But at least brothers like you and I get to do that within the confines of our home, typically, They are on front and center. She don't got enough wisdom to stay off the blogs and the TV shows while they work it out, because then this type of stuff right here gets exposed. That look that he gave her wasn't a look that he's abusive. That's a look that she don't shut up. That women don't know how to shut up. This is the kind of woman that will ask a man a question when he finally gets to a place of wanting to even be around her to talk about it. The moment he opens his mouth and starts to explain, she interrupts. Then he tries to tell her, yo, you're interrupting me, and she interrupts him on him. And then this guy, and you can tell by his facial expression, the eyes, which are the windows to the soul, that his soul's been troubled with the women who don't know how to shut up. And the bad part is she's still trying to find out how to do that. She can't even do it on public TV. So how bad is she when they're in private? And then she'll call this man a monster for snapping off, for her inability. He's a monster, he's prone to anger. No, sweetheart. He's prone to running short on patience of you not knowing how to shut up. When he leave the house, come back, I fixed it, I know how to do it, I'm gonna... He's trying. for his marriage and his family. And see, fellas, the older she gets, the harder these habits become for her to learn. I need you to realize that whatever it is she struggles with, it's because it's not in her. If she struggles with being feminine, that just may not be her at this point in time. If she struggles with being submissive, if she struggles with diarrhea of the mouth, that just may not be her. And if she's never knew or was raised to have respect for men, you're going to be dealing with a woman who won't know when to shut up. That's the reason why she won't shut up. She doesn't shut up because she doesn't know the value of your words, the value of your counsel, the value of your time, your presence, your energy, your leadership, and so forth. So when you're speaking, she feels that her words are equally weighted and therefore interrupts. But she don't do her boss like that. When that boss call her in to give her any type of conversation, while the boss is speaking, typically, she'll shut up. And you know why? Well, she values what they're going to say. She values that they pulled them to the office. She values the time. She values the edification. You know, everything that she doesn't value with you. Now, just because she doesn't value it with you does not mean that you don't possess it. She just doesn't value what you do possess. She's never been brought up that way. And most of us are dealing with women who may be 26, 27, 28 plus, bro. We are creatures of habit. And that's what I need you men to understand. So call up her ex. That'll let you know what's next. And when, you know what? You can have a conversation with him by himself. You can have one with her right there in the passenger seat. You think she gonna know how to perform shut up in this? Or will she be there interrupting as the man's trying to, give his disposition peacefully? Nuh-uh, Ray, you didn't. Oh, wait a minute, little mama. Wait a minute. If she like that with the man over the phone, cuz I'm just telling you, bro. That storm may be over the horizon for you. Anything she said about a man, if and when it all falls down, she'll say about you. Whatever she did, her most treacherous act to a man, do not believe in this day and age that she's that far removed or that in love with you that would make you immune from her nature. She ain't even immune from her nature, nor does she really understand it. I'm giving all my wives a full course PhD on the nature of a woman. They've been a woman all their lives and still don't understand. Well, she says this. I don't understand why she would do that. Well, the problem is you keep looking and listening to what she says. That means nothing. The words of a woman mean nothing to me. Absolutely nothing, good or bad. It's her actions. If she is to teach, it needs to be her actions. When the Bible talks about what a woman is to adorn herself with, these are characteristics. Characteristics are what make up a character, right? And it's made up through actions, which means they have to be shown. Being meek, being mild, low-tempered, courteous, kind. These women today don't have, nor do they embody those characteristics. And then some of them know how to hide under a cloak of community, under a cloak of godliness. And the only thing they can do is stay far away, because if they get close enough to the sun, the wax may start to burn off and expose who and what they really are. And if she ain't dealt with her nature, she ain't gonna be able to deal with you and yours. Dot them I's, cross them T's. Praise y'all that everything may be done with ease, bro. Selah.
Pull up with the stick, yeah. She said she wanna be up on my team, but she can't love me, yeah. Really, she don't want a man, she wanna